the cream of the crop. Remember, when Ric Flair's in town, showtime! Woo!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
This is where the power lies. It doesn't matter what you think. You just made the list.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second episode of the 3 Count Podcast, what we'll go ahead and call the Royal Recap, since this is coming to you right after the Royal Rumble. Well, maybe not right after, a couple of days after, but that's mostly going to be our focus for the evening. I'm here with my co-host, as per usual, DXB Punk. How you doing?
Good, how are you? How's everyone?
Oh, I'm okay. Oh, thanks for asking. Yeah, it's been a busy week for wrestling. Very busy week. I'll say that. After our podcast, we had Saturday NXT Takeover San Antonio, which had some amazing matches. We'll get to that a little later. Then we, of course, had the Royal Rumble, and then Monday Raw and Tuesday SmackDown Live. So we definitely have plenty to go through today. But let's go ahead and start with, as we usually start, our 3 count of our top 3 wrestling stories. All right. So first and foremost, something that I saw online that I wanted to go ahead and talk about for a little bit. Triple H has confirmed that they are going to go ahead and move forward with a weekly United Kingdom wrestling show. This comes after a little bit of confusion in regards to the fact that a lot of the people, a lot of the wrestlers who were signed into the 16-man United Kingdom tournament 2 Saturdays ago, was it? Actually, it might have been 3 Saturdays now.
2 Saturdays ago.
It was 2 Saturdays?
Yep.
I feel like I've missed a week somewhere. I feel like last week was 2 weeks ago.
Welcome to my life.
Well, I mean, not to get into politics, but I mean that takes up quite a bit of your time. That's as far as I'll go. However, yes, the 16-man tournament was huge, and in the 16-man tournament, a lot of the wrestlers came from a few of the more indie shows. What Culture Pro Wrestling, one of them, which is a huge favorite of mine, as well
Yes.
as Progress Wrestling and Dublin's Over the Top Wrestling. As well as in Glasgow's based Insane Championship Wrestling. Now, granted, Insane Championship Wrestling is actually bringing their programming to the WWE Network, so that's pretty amazing.
That'd be fun to watch.
Right, yeah, definitely. We did just get a follow. I do want to go ahead and say thank you so much for following. I see that you did drink it in, man. Let's keep it going. I have my Twitch alert showing to where anytime someone follows, it has Chris Jericho doing the drink it in man thing for you DXB Punk. I thought you'd like that.
I like that. Can confirm.
Yes, of course. So Triple H did say that he is confirming that the other wrestlers, the wrestlers that were on the 16-man tournament, will not be able to perform at these other indie scenes, as they are intending to get to a weekly show similar to SmackDown and Raw or NXT and 205 Live. I don't necessarily see this as a bad thing. To be 100% honest, since the last match of Peter Dunne versus Tyler Bate, which was, in my opinion, one of the best matches of the year so far, I want to see more, and I want to see those two go up against each other for months on end. I could see those two go off just nonstop. So I'm not complaining with that. Of course, it is a shame just because, Pete Dunne did come from What Culture Pro Wrestling. He, that's kind of where a big name was made for himself, and it's a shame that we're not going to see him there. Same thing with a couple of other people.
Joseph Connors.
Yeah. It's a shame that we're not going to see him. Yeah, I believe there were 3 that were in the tournament, but no, it's a shame that we're not going to see them in these indie scenes. But at the same point, you sign with the WWE, it's kind of a
huge.
It's huge, but also, I mean, you're going to be under the rule of Vince McMahon. It's pretty damn obvious what's going to happen, Granted, Triple H was Triple H and Regal were the ones who actually kind of rallied everyone. But either way, That's just kind of how things went. All right, so yeah, not too bad. Let's go ahead and go to our next 3 counts. So we have some talks here. About Conor McGregor teasing a possible WWE WrestleMania appearance. You don't like this, huh?
I don't like Conor McGregor.
You don't like Conor McGregor. Okay.
No.
See, I've watched just a couple of clips of his UFC fighting. I haven't, I'm not really big into UFC fighting myself, but, I do watch from time to time. And I see that he does have a cockiness to him. But, of course, with cockiness as well as apparently nowadays with the UFC comes the WWE. This is the same thing that happened with Braun Strowman, with Braun Strowman. Don't you know he's confirmed for UFC, guys? That'd be interesting.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey, and now all of a sudden Conor McGregor is making a tease. I don't think that anything is going to come out of this because he did say that he doesn't give a shit what Vince McMahon's opinion is, which that sounds like something Conor McGregor would say, and that does not sound like something Vince McMahon in turn would be too happy about. So.
But Conor McGregor is a person who would do anything for the paycheck.
Oh, absolutely. That's why he runs around with 2 belts now.
Yes. That and why he's gonna face Floyd Mayweather, possibly.
Right.
In a boxing match for money.
I mean, wouldn't you?
No.
Well, I mean, if you were fit, if we were both fit, if we were as fit as Conor McGregor, wouldn't you fight him to get a little bit of money? Because you know that you'd get a lot of money out of that.
Maybe. Such a weird thing,
I mean, I don't think it's too far of a stretch.
No.
I mean, I honestly, I just really want to see if this would actually go anywhere. Of course, because of how close we are to WrestleMania. And in turn, SummerSlam, we're not going to see this year. No way, no chance in hell. No chance.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. If anything, I can see Ronda Rousey showing up. I don't see Conor McGregor showing up.
I say if Ronda shows up, she's staying.
Ronda showing up, she's going to stay, is what you're saying.
Yes. She's already said that when she's done with the UFC, she's coming to WWE.
Well, based off of what's been going out fairly recently, there has essentially been a more set in stone of Ronda Rousey essentially putting her UFC career up on the shelf. So, like I said, that is something that I want to see. I want to see Ronda Rousey in the WWE. I think she'd be an amazing addition, especially with Mickie James showing up, a couple of weeks ago. On top of that, the amazing roster that we have right now. With Raw having Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte, and then over on SmackDown Live, we have Alexa Bliss, we have Naomi, we have Becky Lynch. An amazing roster. On top of that, even if she were to go to NXT, I would pay money to see Ronda Rousey versus Asuka. I would.
Oh yeah.
Hell, I would pay for Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Cross, but that's just because I love Nikki Cross. But
same.
She's amazing whenever she's not going completely psycho. All right, so on to our last 3 count. Something a little outside of the WWE universe, but equally as important considering that Dave Meltzer did give this match a 6-star match, the only match of all wrestling that has gotten a 6-star review. I'm talking about, and I'm going to completely butcher this, the Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega match at IWGP.
Call him Rainmaker.
I'm sorry?
Just call him the Rainmaker.
The Rainmaker.
That's his nickname.
All right, so the Rainmaker versus Kenny Omega match from Wrestle Kingdom. I believe this was 14, right?
11.
11. Jesus. I'm messing this up today. At WrestleMania, there we go. At Wrestle Kingdom 11 has gone free on the official website's link.
Website.
Correct.
Yep.
New Japan Pro Wrestling's website. It's gone free for a week. I will go ahead and I will put the link in the chat for anyone watching, as well as I will go ahead and I will make sure that this is in the description on the YouTube, so that anyone who is watching can go ahead and see that and take advantage of the fact that that is free. Bear in mind, of course, it is the website is 100% in Japanese. But if you're using
I believe
Google
the
Chrome,
commentary should be in English, though.
yeah, I believe it is as well. As well as, if you're using Google Chrome, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, considering that you can just translate everything anyways. Yeah. You don't have that difficult of a time to kind of maneuver your way around. If you like this, honestly, I see no reason to not just get a subscription to New Japan Pro Wrestling at this point, because, I mean, based off the fact that Kenny Omega has essentially confirmed that he is going to be coming back to NJPW, we're just going to see better and better things out of this guy. Any addition here?
Not really. No, I've only started watching him, especially after that match, and he's really impressed me. I personally see a lot more coming out of him soon.
Definitely. I 100% agree with that sentiment. So let's go ahead and let's go into our wrestling recap. Essentially, I mean, this, like I said, this has been a crazy, crazy week. So we're going to probably keep it short on a lot of things, even though we would want to kind of go a little bit more in length as we did last week. But as we also saw last week, when we did go in length, it did get a little lengthy at the end there. So we'll go ahead and just do a quick recap of more of the NXT TakeOver and then Raw and SmackDown, so that we can focus a lot on the Royal Rumble. So let's go ahead and first and foremost, before we start that, I do want to go ahead and say, if you are watching this and you are enjoying this, again, make sure that you are following this on Twitch. Make sure that you're following both of us on Twitter, and make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube, because the only way that you're going to be able to see everything that we put out is if you are doing all those three things. So make sure you are doing all those three. DXP Punk, where can we find you on Twitter?
At DXP Punk.
And you can find me at Nostalgion. Of course, you are watching the podcast on the Nostalgion Twitter handle. DXP Punk, I believe that your Twitch is DXP Punk as well.
You betcha.
All right. And do you have a YouTube channel?
Let's not talk about that.
Okay, let's not talk about that. I need to remove that logo off from underneath your name. All right. Well, of course, you can find me online at Nostalgion just about everywhere. That is my YouTube name. However, I believe that my YouTube channel link is Liar Boyer for some damn reason. I'll have to change that once I have the ability to, but I won't until I have enough subscriber base. So we'll go ahead.
So let's change that.
So let's change that, folks. Let's keep it going. After the shameless self-promotion, let's go ahead and hop into NXT TakeOver San Antonio. So, first match is Eric Young versus Ty Dillinger. Eric Young, of course, the leader of Sanity, going out with his two people, Killian Dane, which is Big Damo, and Alexander Wolf. This match was really good. It was pretty standard match between the two Canadians.
Which I always forget.
Yeah, right. Eric Young doesn't sound like a Canadian, that's for sure. It's a shame though that Ty Dillinger is an amazing wrestler. He has a lot of potential, rather. And it is a shame that he continues to kind of get shafted a little bit in the NXT verse.
I feel like he's getting Tyler Breeze treatment right now.
Yeah, he is getting a little bit of the Breeze treatment. Once he comes up to main roster, we'll see him show up as Fashion Police, and then we'll know what Vince McMahon's plan is for him, right?
God, I hope not.
Oh man, can't you see just Breezango, Tyler Breeze, Fandango, and Ty Dillinger?
No, please don't.
Let's make Ultra Fashion Police.
Let's not ruin another career now.
Fuck Fashion Police. Fashion Soldiers.
Would you rate it out of 10?
Oh, 10, 10, 10. Definitely. All right, next, the next match on NXT was Roderick Strong, who defeated Andrade Cien Almas. To be 100% honest,
Holy hard-hitting match.
yeah, it was a very very strong style match. It's very brutal. I didn't follow it much though, as much as I should have. I'll say that because I did watch this one kind of when I was half asleep. But they were definitely both very strong, and it improved both of their stock within NXT with very impressive performances. The next match was something that I did focus a lot on, and I watched quite a bit. Is the Authors of Pain versus, is it hashtag DIY or just DIY?
I think it's hashtag DIY.
Well, then why is it that all of the NXT announcers never say hashtag? They just say DIY.
Because you don't say hashtag DIY.
Well, then take the hashtag out. Your hashtags don't make any sense. Cue cat. My cat's sitting on the chair next to me, and he's just going nuts. All right. So, okay. It was pretty damn obvious how this was going to end. It was.
Okay, thank you. Because so many people say, oh, I thought DIY was going to win. No. You had these two big monsters against these little cruiserweights.
They've had...
Let's be real.
Yeah, the Authors of Pain have had no weakness in almost every time that they've shown up on screen. They have done nothing but dominate and just take over everything that they've been involved in. So there would have been no reason for them to come out and all of a sudden just lose their championship opportunity to DIY.
No.
I do like the callback that they did to DIY's last match where they won the championship, kind of doing the double submission, but because of the fact that the Authors of Pain are so big and so strong,
It just didn't work.
It didn't work. He just kind of flipped him over and just said, "Fuck you, get the hell out of my office." So yeah, I mean, this was a really good push for Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Are the fans going to be behind the Authors of Pain? I'm not 100% sure on that. I think it'll probably be mixed, just because of the fact that
I feel like they don't have to, because they're going to be two monsters of heel.
Absolutely, I agree with that. I don't think that the Authors of Pain need the fan support. I think that they'll be fine as they are. It's just kind of how things go. With DIY, they are heels, correct? Like they're established heels.
DIY?
Yeah.
I don't think they're pretty face.
Their face? Okay. The only reason why I
Yeah,
asked is
they're
because...
really over with the crowd.
Okay. Well, I know that they're over with the crowd, but that doesn't mean anything in the WWE universe on if they're heel or face anymore, you know? That's why I ask, is just because I see DIY coming back and trying to get their championships back. I see DIY trying to do a lot more established teamwork, as they have done previously, to try and get the championships back, and I think that that's really promising. So we'll see how that goes, and
But they
hopefully
get them back.
not immediately. Maybe a few months down the road, maybe another tag team will show up that'll be better than them. Maybe because of the
feel like
fact
that's gonna
that
happen before they get them back.
maybe
if they
American Alpha gets sent back to NXT because the only good thing that they've done so far has been in NXT. Shots fired.
Really? Really?
I didn't. Okay, that was vicious. That was vicious. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take over this podcast with my opinion, just like Seth Rollins took over NXT TakeOver San Antonio.
I knew that's where you're going with that.
Oh, of course. So after the match with the Authors of Pain versus hashtag DIY, we have Seth Rollins taking over NXT TakeOver San Antonio. Essentially says, this is where it started. NXT is where it started, and I know that Triple H is back there. Get the hell out here and face me like a man, you little puss. And Triple H comes out. He looks just like the authority that he is. and then just whisks out his little security guards to take out Seth. Now Seth is able to get through a few of them, but then they go ahead and just
More come.
Yeah, more come. They take care of Seth. They put him to the side, and from there, we didn't get this until the pre-show of the Royal Rumble, but Seth Rollins is banned from the Royal Rumble. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone's assumption at that point was, oh, Seth Rollins is banned from the Royal Rumble? Well, guess who's showing up at the Royal Rumble? Spoiler, he never showed up. It's upsetting, but we'll get to that. So, and the WWE went nuts about the fact that Seth Rollins took over NXT TakeOver, almost as if it was not kayfabe, but it was most definitely kayfabe.
Yeah, it's a WrestleMania match.
Oh hell yeah! I'm very much excited for it. The next match is I thought was great. It's the Fatal 4-Way match with Asuka defending her championship against Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce, and Billie Kay. For Peyton Royce,
I kind of skipped over this match actually.
Really? Okay. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay were shown. They continue to show strong. I think that they will be amazing tag teams in the future. My thing is, with how amazing Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are, I would not be surprised if we see a women's tag team championship later on.
Oh yeah.
I would not be surprised by it because the two are amazing together, and are fabulous looking as well. They had a very flashy attire on the way to the ring, very long flowing silk garments and things like that. It was interesting to say the least.
I feel like with the Tay team though, you're gonna have to wait until the supposed women's tournament happens.
Oh, I would agree with that. The women's tournament that Triple H has stated would occur, I think we discussed that last week.
Summer.
Yeah. Well, they'll need to wait for that. But I can definitely see Peyton Royce and Billie Kay being the first ones in line for the championship. Because they work well together. They work off of each other extremely well, and I look forward to that. I look forward to seeing that.
They're the female version of Kevin and Chris.
Oh, Chris and Kevin, you mean?
Sure.
I every time that I see Nikki Cross on the screen, I fall in love with her more and more. I think that she is amazing, and I cannot wait for the eventual point where she takes Asuka's championship.
You think she's gonna take it?
I think that she has a better chance than Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. I will say, however, that Ember Moon probably has a better chance than Nikki Cross. My thing is, Ember Moon, whenever she is cutting promos, does not act like her character like Nikki Cross's promos.
Yes.
Ember Moon, you can tell, is much more uncomfortable with her promos than Nikki Cross is comfortable with her promos. You can tell that when Nikki Cross is doing her promos, she knows who her character is supposed to be and acts like her character. Ember Moon is much more boring. The lack of energy in her promo just makes her seem like just some person with red eyes.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So that's why, depending on if Ember Moon gets better, I see Nikki Cross getting it rather than Ember Moon. But we will see how time progresses because they do like to take their time with NXT. They do like to give the superstars a little bit more time to get a little bit better. If they are able to progress further and further, they get to see more opportunities, and I really like that. Thank you, Triple H. You're doing good.
Do you see Asuka losing at the takeover for WrestleMania?
Only if she's coming up to Maine. Only if she's coming up to Maine. And even then, I don't see her coming up to Maine yet.
No. But I see like shortly after.
I would say maybe shortly after, maybe the next takeover after WrestleMania. But I don't think that she's going to lose right before WrestleMania. I just don't see it. She has been such a dominant force, and she's most definitely going to hold that title for a solid year. There's no doubt about that, and I look forward to that because I think
Well,
that'll be
that's what I was
amazing.
saying too. That would be a year
Right.
when she would have it.
Yeah. That's why I don't think that she would drop the belt at that point, though. I think that they'd give her just a little bit more time with the belt. I don't think they'll just cut it right then and there. So, moving on, because again we're taking so much time. It's nerds talking about nerd things. It's almost like when you put two nerds together, they just don't stop talking. It's great. NXT Championship. Bobby Roode defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. Spoilers. I'm sorry.
Yes.
This match was glorious, and I needed to just kind of highlight the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura has the biggest balls of anyone that I have seen. The dude fucked his knee, and that wasn't what the injury that he half faked. Half of that was not kayfabe, and you could tell that half of that was not kayfabe. All right.
You think he was actually hurt?
I think that he was actually hurt in some form. I don't think it was nearly as bad as he sold it. I think that it was half sold, half not. But
I personally think that they did it. It was fully like faked, just so people weren't like, "Oh, he lost the title. Oh, hey, now he's gonna be in the Rumble tomorrow."
I think that was the big reason why he wasn't in the Rumble, though, was that he legit got hurt. However, also at the same point, they could very easily use that as a storyline to build to Shinsuke trying to get his championship back, just winning it immediately back from Bobby Roode. I will agree with you that it did look extremely kayfabe right after the medical officials allowed Shinsuke to get back into the ring, and then Bobby Roode immediately just pummels him and then jabs.
Then went after it.
Yeah, and then he jabs the knee that he was just, extremely holding. Jabs it up in the air very viciously. So that
they wouldn't do that in this day and age if he wasn't hurt.
Well,
if he was hurt, I should say.
Right. So it's probably that he isn't actually hurt, but I mean it looked pretty realistic in my opinion. So I'm not gonna say yes or no. I'm not gonna swing either way here. But it felt that was an amazing match, especially Bobby Roode's intro. It felt very Ric Flair Starrcade-esque.
Oh yeah.
So amazing. So let's go ahead and let's go to the Royal Rumble. You want to go ahead and start with the pre-show?
I think there's only one thing we should mention about the pre-show.
The fact that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are now the Raw Tag Team Champions.
Betcha.
Indeed. Too sweet. I like how in the pre-show they even mentioned Too Sweet. In the announcers tables started talking about Too Sweet, which I thought was hilarious. Just kind of sprinkle in a little bit of their past into the present. I thought that was pretty cute. Yeah, that was pretty obvious. I'm upset that a title match, kind of a handing off of titles happened on a pre-show. However, Sheamus and Cesaro weren't doing much with the belts to begin with, so I can't really complain.
No. That, and for like the Royal Rumble pay-per-view itself, I was okay with. If it was like on like Fastlane or Elimination Chamber, I would have been pissed off.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. If they are going to drop the belts on a pre-show, I'd rather that pre-show be for a Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam pre-show. So, can't complain 100%. So we go ahead and, of course, we also have the other two matches, which we have Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks. Nia Jax kills Sasha Banks with a Samoa drop. And then we have the six woman tag team, the 3v3 with Becky Lynch, Naomi, and the Bella, Nikki Bella. And then we against Natalia, Mickie James, and Alexa Bliss. Naomi gets the pin on Alexa Bliss. I said it last week, and I will say it again. I think Naomi is really coming into her prime, coming into her comfortable, really that comfortable zone. So I'm looking forward to seeing her get that championship off of Alexa Bliss, and then maybe we'll see a heel turn by Becky. That's
for maybe.
I mean, I could pretty easily see Becky Lynch turn heel a little bit later. Maybe Mickie James.
Maybe come summer.
Yeah, come summer, like Mickie James eggs her on so much that she turns to heel tactics. I think that'd be fun. So let's go ahead and let's move into the actual Royal Rumble. So we go ahead and we start off with the Bayley versus Charlotte match. Now, I thought that Bayley might win this. Now, of course, I was wrong. Bayley did lose. And she lost this match.
Kind of out of nowhere. Like, I wasn't like...
I think, well, okay, the biggest thing is the kayfabe with this is that the edge of the ring is the hardest part of the ring, and no one can survive the hardest part of the ring, apparently.
Yeah.
However, the Charlotte's finisher did not look that amazing on the edge of the ring. It made it look much
That's
more
what I thought.
Yeah. Because I think it was because it was on the edge of the ring, it just looked a lot more awkward than it needed to be, and
It looked like it hurt her more than Bayley.
yeah, I would agree on that. Bayley looks like she came out pretty unscathed, but she had to sell it. So I'm not happy with how that ended, but you could tell that they ended where they were supposed to end. So.
Yeah, and it's not going to be the last time either.
Right. Nope. This is just going to be the...
This is the start of the WrestleMania rivalry.
Exactly. This is start of the road to WrestleMania. Oh, man, I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm so excited.
I will be after... I'll explain in a little bit.
Okay. So... Now we go to, and in my opinion, I thought this match was, up until the end of it, was almost...
So much better than what it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought it was so much better than I expected, and also I thought that I was paying more attention to this match than I was AJ Styles versus John Cena. And that's...
Really?
Well, that's just because I really like Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. But...
Well, I mean, I guess.
But... Kevin Owens defended his championship against Roman Reigns in a no disqualification match. So let me just go ahead and explain a little bit. I was watching this with actually the person who is currently moderating our chat, as well as another one of our friends. And when Kevin Owens made his pyramid of chairs, all right, we died. We died a little bit inside, and we were just like, because after he made the pyramid, you could see that sense of pride that he had of what he made.
So happy.
And the announcers were just like, and Kevin Owens has created some structure out of the chairs. It was like, yes, that structure is going to be the bane of someone's existence by the end of this match. And it was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens' own hubris.
Because of a Superman punch.
Because of that Superman punch. There was so much going on, and this match showed that Kevin Owens can still put up a goddamn fight even when Chris Jericho isn't necessarily directly involved. Granted, he dropped a pair of brass knuckles for Kevin Owens. I love the fact that in this match, Kevin Owens, he copied Stone Cold Steve Austin with a Stone Cold Stunner on Roman Reigns.
That made my life.
And then he mocks Roman Reigns by doing a Superman punch with brass knuckles. It was.
I thought he was gonna win via that too. Like, how heelish / Kevin Owens-ish would it be if he would have won via Superman punch?
Exactly. I thought it would have been amazing if that would have been it. But it kept going. And we got to a point where Roman Reigns he had the upper hand. He was about to get this. And then all of a sudden, Braun Strowman comes out, pulls Roman Reigns out of the ring, starts beating the ever-loving shit out of him. I have mixed feelings about Braun Strowman, and a lot of it comes down to the fact that he's. I feel like we're hitting a point where he's not adding anything anymore. He's just ruining other people's matches. But I'll leave the rest of my comments for Raw, for the Raw recap. So Kevin Owens keeps his title, even though Roman Reigns gets the win via DQ. And that's really how it goes. Oh wait, no. It was a no DQ. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, Kevin Owens pinned Reigns to keep the title after Braun Strowman attacked Reigns, and put him in through a choke slam into an announcer table. By the way, there was actually no, that was Raw. I'm getting my wrestling mixed up. I'm not doing hot. It's mostly because Raw and SmackDown were pretty ho hum, in my opinion. But so
Same.
next match, AJ Styles defending the championship against John Cena. John Cena,
Wait, you skipped the cruiserweight.
Sorry.
You skipped the cruiserweight match.
Oh yeah, Neville beat Rich Swann for the Cruiserweight Championship. That was a given.
Match was good though.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It wasn't too
All right,
bad.
now we're gonna talk about the
Double
WWE
underhook
side.
crossface for the win. Anyways, now that we're done talking about the cruiserweights, AJ did lose the championship to John Cena. This match, it was all just signature moves, just all over the place, just attitude adjustments, 5-knuckle shuffles, STFs, figure 4 leg locks, cross arm breakers. We had 2 Styles clashes in this one.
Yep.
It was amazing, and I love the fact that it ended with an attitude it ended with an attitude adjustment, a near fall,
into another attitude adjustment,
super attitude adjustment, a near fall, in a third attitude adjustment, and then he does a full flip and just picks AJ Styles back up on a roll and just throws him into another attitude adjustment, and that's how it ends. I like how seamless the third and the fourth attitude adjustment was. I thought that was really good.
and it made AJ look really good too.
I would agree. AJ took one hell of a beating, and I cannot wait for him to get his championship back. Now we'll get.
It's gonna be a little bit.
Right. It's gonna be a little bit because of the main event and kind of how that went, as well as who won, which was a bit of a surprise. So we go ahead and we start with Big Cass up against Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho. I think Chris Jericho almost this entire time was hiding underneath the ring with the tub of Gatorade that they have underneath the ring, because he got beat up. He gets beat up for a little bit, and then he just disappears for 80% of the match, and he just shows up at certain points just so that he can get the 2 eliminations that he got against Sheamus and Cesaro, and then just get thrown out. Just gets eliminated by Roman Reigns. Anyways, so Big Cass, we have Big Cass coming out first, Chris Jericho coming out second, Kalisto coming out third, Mojo Rawley coming out fourth. I'm sad that Mojo Rawley came out so early. It saddened me, but okay.
I would say Kalisto came out third because there's been a recent trend for the past few Rumbles that has always been like a surprise return or something like that at third.
Oh, I see. I mean, honestly, I didn't know why Kalisto was in this in the first place. He was not announced to be in the Rumble, and his showing didn't bring anything. Honestly, I'm not entertained by Kalisto. I'm really not. And you'll see that in the SmackDown recap as well. Fifth was Jack Gallagher. Motherfucker comes down with his umbrella. All right, this motherfucker comes down with his umbrella. He has his umbrella pinned in between. It was Chris Jericho, right?
Yes.
He has his umbrella in between Chris Jericho's legs. Just waits for it, and then just smacks him in the crotch with it. and then Chris Jericho's writhing on the ground. Mark Henry is our sixth entrant. He comes out. He starts cleaning house. He starts trying to take people out, or attempting to take people out. Jack Gallagher pulls some Mary Poppins shit off the top rope. Decides that he's going to take his umbrella fully opened and decide to come down with it onto Mark Henry. Mark Henry's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? I'm not having this shit. And just throws him out the ring. Just tosses him out like last week's Sawdust. And then we have the next entrant who had the most eliminations of anyone in the match. Total of 7. And that's Braun Strowman. All right?
Which I didn't realize he had 7 until I looked at the stats later on.
Yeah, it's crazy. Braun Strowman comes out. He starts taking people out. He takes out Big Cass. He takes out Kalisto, Mojo Rawley, Mark Henry. It was crazy. Sami Zayn comes out after that, and of course the matchup with Braun Strowman and Sami Zayn in the Royal Rumble, it felt too rushed. It didn't feel like there was enough going on. But it's the Royal Rumble. Some things work, some things don't. So I'm okay with that not working as well as it could have. Sami Zayn is kind of just in the corner after he gets beat the hell up by Braun. The Big Show comes out. The Big Show...
Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men.
Vince McMahon does like big sweaty men. He doesn't do shit and gets taken out by Braun Strowman. And then we have number 10. 10. 10. 10.
We called it.
Holy shit, dude. I cannot believe that WWE is embracing the memes so fucking hard right now. The fact that Ty Dillinger actually came out as number 10, had 10 on his back, had 10 on the Jumbotron, I was ecstatic. and the buddies that I was with watching it were ecstatic as well. I went nuts on my Twitter due to this, which is one of the reasons why y'all need to be following my Twitter as well as DXB Punk's Twitter as well. Y'all need to keep an eye on this ish because sometimes our reactions are pretty good. Ty Dillinger comes out. Of course, he's eliminated by Braun Strowman as well. James Ellsworth comes out. This is amazing, all right? James Ellsworth comes out with Carmella. It was with Carmella, right? No, it wasn't with Carmella. Carmella it was? Okay. Yeah, that's right. Carmella was there. James Ellsworth goes up. He's like, I don't want to show up. Dean Ambrose comes out after him. And Dean Ambrose is like, you know what? Nah. Because Braun Strowman's just watching him like, I'm going to fucking kill you. The moment you walk into this ring, you are dead. I'm going to floss my teeth with your bones, dude. Dean Ambrose comes up and he's like, we can take him. We can take him. Are you ready? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. They start running up. Dean Ambrose stops. James Ellsworth goes in, gets thrown out. 15 seconds. Done. I love Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose, never change. Seriously. You like when the little promo that they had where Sami Zayn was going to get his number, and then Dean Ambrose showed up afterwards, and then Dean Ambrose
kept talking about balls.
Right, Dean Ambrose just kept talking about balls, and then Sami Zayn's like, "Do you want me to open yours and tell you and find out what yours is?" And he's like, "Nah, I'll just go take a nap. Just wake me up when my music plays." It's like, that's not how that works.
And they made a comment about how Sami Zayn had a blue ball.
Yeah, because Sami Zayn has blue balls, and Dean Ambrose had to bust his balls for him. Yeah, it was great. Dean Ambrose goes in. He puts up a good fight. Baron Corbin comes out next, and he takes out Braun Strowman.
Yep, with his plain old clothesline.
I mean, sometimes you just got to do what works, right? Why fix what isn't broken? Kofi Kingston comes out, and he is Kofi Kingston. He does in this match. He does do some stupid shit to stay in the ring.
which was kind of lame this year.
Yeah, it was essentially just I got hit. I was up. I was in a corner. I slid. I was close to the ground, and then I stayed in, just like just about everyone else does every once in a while. I think Chris Jericho had like 2 or 3 of those, just
Yeah.
using the ropes. So yeah, Kofi Kingston, you need to go back to your stupid shit to stay in. If you would have hopped onto the announcer's table and then jumped back into the ring, I would have been happy. Do that next time. After this, we have The Miz, who comes in, and
Not the Daniel Bryan theme music, which kind of disappointed me.
right, it's gonna happen. He's gonna show up at like WrestleMania with Daniel Bryan's theme music. Let the feud between him and Daniel Bryan just stew. Let that stew for like a year, and then watch The Miz quit the WWE, go to Indy right as Daniel Bryan's contract ends with the WWE, and then he shows up at Ring of Honor or some shit. That would that. I'd go fuck.
I think Bryan's contract ends in May or something like that.
Well, they better start renewing that then. So after The Miz, we have Sheamus, who comes out. Sheamus does some work. He gets 3 eliminations with Cesaro. We'll get to that. Big E then comes out. I do not understand why Big E got his whole clap for your 2-time tag team champions. Why does he get that, but Kofi Kingston does not? Why didn't Big E come out first if he was going to be the only one who gets that? I did not understand that. I'm upset about that.
I didn't really understand either, which I kind of wonder if he's going to keep doing that once the New Day breaks up.
I hope not, because that doesn't make any sense. Unless he changes it for himself, like for...
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. He'd change it for himself.
Possibly. Rusev comes out. Rusev Machka. He doesn't Machka anyone. He gets no eliminations. Cesaro
Like
comes
Dashing
out.
Cody Rhodes.
Right. Cesaro comes out. Yeah, he pulled a Dashing Cody Rhodes with the face mask thing. I don't understand. Whatever. Cesaro comes out. He starts swinging people, just swinging. He just starts picking people up and swinging them. Sheamus comes up and he's like, dude, and he just starts picking Sheamus up and starts to swing him. And he's like, wait, and he pauses, and he's like, wait.
Oops.
And then Xavier Woods comes in and defends with Kofi Kingston and Big E. These 3 are doing pretty good, except that they don't get anyone out. And then all of a sudden, then Cesaro and Sheamus start taking all 3 of them out, get all 3 of them out, and then who's right behind them? Chris Jericho, just taking the legs and just tossing them out with them.
There's 5 eliminations.
Chris Jericho's like, yeah, I did a thing.
And then he went to hide again.
Yeah, and then he went to hide, and then I'll explain it once we get down to the end here. But yeah, then he went and hid for most of the match. Bray Wyatt comes out. He gets beaten up for quite a bit. Apollo Crews comes out and he gets beaten up for a little bit. Randy Orton comes out, starts defending with Bray Wyatt. Kind of works with that. Dolph Ziggler comes out, does diddly squat. Luke Harper comes out and for a while is kind of on the side of Bray and Randy, and then a little bit later he goes nuts and he tries to do a Sister Abigail on Bray Wyatt. And,
which I wish he would have hit. Oh my lord, that would have made me jump.
It would have been amazing. Just he did the whole thing. He did the forehead kiss and everything. It was great. But of course Randy Orton pulled an RKO and ended that pretty quickly. Brock Lesnar comes out and he takes out 3 people. He takes out who is it? Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, and Enzo Amore, because Enzo Amore shows up after Brock Lesnar and again, just like James Ellsworth, like 15 seconds. He's in, he's out. Enzo got his chicken dance in, and I guess that's what counts, though.
Yep.
Goldberg comes in, and he just goes, "Hey, you remember Survivor Series? Well, that's just gonna happen again because I'm a 50-year-old man and I can't actually beat you, so I'm just gonna throw you out." Bye. Undertaker shows up. Undertaker
at number
needs
29.
to retire. This match made me realize how bad the Undertaker needs to retire. It saddens me, but this dude hobbled through the match.
Yeah, I can agree with you that one. It was just weird to have him in it, and spoiler alert, not win.
Yeah, not win, because he gets taken out by number 30. So, number 30, I thought was going to be a certain Samoan who was shown on NXT TakeOver at San Antonio watching NXT, that certain Samoan being Samoa Joe. Instead, we get another certain Samoan that shows
Named
up,
Joe,
named Roman Reigns. Excuse me.
whose real name is Joe.
Right, whose name is Joe. I am
God,
so furious.
I legitimately screamed "fuck off" WWE when I saw that.
Yeah. I saw your Twitter. You went pretty. You were pretty livid. And I was too. Dude, don't fuck with me like that. Do not go playing with my heart like that. It saddened me, and you could feel the arena. The entire arena was pissed the fuck off too. Furious. Absolutely furious, and I was as well, and I was so fucking glad when he was taken out by Randy Orton, although it saddens me that Roman Reigns was the second to last person in that ring. It would have been better if Roman Reigns would have went out third, and then it was Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, then all of a sudden you have this little bit of a power struggle before Randy Orton just walks his way over the top rope. I would have liked that better. But we got Randy Orton. 100%. To be honest, I almost felt like that was done at the last second. Like Roman Reigns was supposed to win, but then the amount of resounding boos that came from it, they decided, fuck it. No, we need to put someone else in there, and just threw Randy Orton the championship.
No, because I did see early in the week that Randy Orton was the favorite to win it.
I honestly didn't. I didn't feel like this was going to be Randy Orton's time, but apparently I'm wrong in that regard. So, oh well, that's all right. 100% honest, the Royal Rumble was resoundingly good. There were some points in it that I was not happy with, but I can't really complain. We've got.
How many stars would you give it?
How many stars? I'd give it a 4.
3.5.
3.5. All right, you're a little bit rougher than I am. I see.
Would have been 4 or maybe 4.5. Was it for Roman Reigns?
I would have given it a 4.5 if Roman Reigns wouldn't have been in the Rumble, and I would have given it a 5 if the Cruiserweight Classic would have given me a reason. Or if the Cruiserweight Championship change was so big, so resoundingly large, that it would have made me go, holy shit, I need to watch 205 Live.
Yeah.
But it didn't. So, now we're back in the same situation that we were last week, folks, where we've already gone just about at time, and we have barely gone through what we need to. So we're going to go ahead and just do a lightning round here of Raw and SmackDown. So, MS Lightskin, this is about an hour that we've been streaming for chat here. So first off, Kevin Owens does celebrate his victory at Royal Rumble. He goes ahead and he says, he starts, I want to note this. He goes, "My name is Kevin Owens, and I am the Universal Champion." He pulled Enzo Amore's shit, and he did it amazingly. I have a feeling like he did that just because of the fact that he pulled the Cold Stone Steve Austin stunner, and then pulled the Superman punch. Like I hope that Kevin Owens' new shtick is that he just copies other people, or he takes other people's moves. I think that would be yeah, it'd be great. I want to see this dude just become a melting pot of wrestling. It'd be great. This is where Chris Jericho says that I'm the 61-minute man. It's an amazing promo. I love it. It's so good. Jericho has now hit he's hit a record. I'm proud of it. We have Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho. Pretty ho-hum. There wasn't really anything huge going on with this one. It kind of ended pretty abruptly with a hell of a kick by Sami Zayn to Chris Jericho. Gets a 3 count. Wins via pinfall. Nothing really big about this one.
There's your US title match for Fastlane.
Yeah, exactly. Then we have Tony Nese versus Mustafa Ali. No one gives a shit. Nese wins via pinfall. C-. Seth Rollins versus Stephanie McMahon's promo. Holy fucking shit. I want to see Seth Rollins wrestle Triple H so fucking bad right now. This promo was so good. This was the highlight of the show. I personally think when Seth Rollins goes, what happens when I come to your front door and your kid answers the door? Dude, I just about shit my pants, and I knew that shit was fake. It was great. It was amazing. I hate Stephanie McMahon, but she's an amazing actress. Good job. Next, we have Cesaro, Sheamus, and Bayley versus Charlotte Flair, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. Bayley wins with a Bayley to Belly 2. Charlotte, this match wasn't that great. I will say that when Charlotte goes to Sheamus and hits him behind the back, kind of squaring up a little bit, I loved that. I thought it was amazing, and I want to see more of that. The thing is, Charlotte is a woman that does not need to keep herself stuck in just women's wrestling. I could see Charlotte go up against cruiserweights easily.
She could be next China.
I wouldn't go that far. She's not that ripped. I mean, I will say that's true. I will say of all of the women on the roster, Charlotte is probably the one who has a ball breaking fetish. But no,
not Nia Jax.
Okay, maybe Nia Jax. No, Nia Jax was just more of a just sit on you type of person. Charlotte looks, yeah, this is what she does. She sits on you. Charlotte, I see her literally busting people's balls. So yeah, Bayley wins. They do a group hug. At the intro promo, they do kind of a group hug thing, and Sheamus is not into it. Honestly, I love how I think it's cute. I keep it going. Have Bayley just be the cheerleader of Raw, and just keep it going. I love it. Neville's coronation. Honestly, I thought that this was a pretty good promo. It almost made me want to watch 205 Live, and I probably will regardless. But yeah, Neville spit some super hot fire on the mic. Cedric Alexander, or rather Rich Swann, does not. I mean, he's just kind of ho hum. It was okay. C+. Kevin Owens versus Braun Strowman. This was really good. I thought this was good. It shows that Kevin Owens is still just resilient. He's resilient as hell. And it shows that Braun Strowman is still strong as hell, and that whenever it comes to not a pay-per-view, Kevin Owens still can't win without some sort of interference, which is kind of his thing. So I'm okay with that. We then go to Brock Lesnar coming to the ring with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman goes through this has-been, or excuse me, it's not has-been, it's yes, but promo, which I thought was amazing. Yeah, but must be wiped out. Yeah, but must be killed. I thought it was great. Especially because during that is when the Goldberg chant started to come in, and Brock Lesnar's face got really upset, and it was great. I loved it. Of course, he is challenging Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is challenging Goldberg at WrestleMania. Who didn't see that coming? Absolutely everyone saw it coming. That's not a surprise at all. Next, we have Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. I don't understand why this was a match. Why do we have this when we just had it on the Royal Rumble? Sasha Banks starts saying a little bit of heel stuff to Bayley. Nia Jax completely just destroys Sasha Banks. Whoop-de-doo. Then we have, I think, the worst match of the evening with Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Rusev and Jinder Mahal in a Tornado tag team match. We should never have Tornado tag team matches. They are bad.
Especially handicapped ones. Oh, no, it wasn't handicapped. Never mind.
Yeah, it wasn't a handicap. But I will agree, whenever it is a handicap, it's especially bad. There was no, like, I'm sorry, I didn't care about this. It was this was a D+ at the most, a D+ match. It was just completely chaotic the entire time. It didn't work for me. Of course, after the promo with Seth Rollins and Stephanie McMahon, and Seth Rollins essentially threatening the McMahon's entire family, she goes, "You know what? Triple H is coming to the ring. He's gonna show up tonight." And he shows up, and Triple H starts saying how Seth Rollins was the biggest thing, and he made Seth Rollins. He made him who he is. Claiming that he made him a star, growled that Rollins disappointed him and defied him. And then Rollins comes down. He says, "I'm ready for a fight." He starts running to the ring. And then I until I saw the face, I thought that a fat Dean Ambrose showed up. I did. I thought fat Dean Ambrose came out of nowhere, like Dad Dean from 10 years from now, after he's eaten chips with Rhino, came out and started beating him up. Until I saw his face and I went, "Oh shit, that's not fat Dean Ambrose, that's Samoa Joe."
The Samoa fucking Joe.
So yeah, Samoa Joe shows up, so that's gonna be a thing at WrestleMania. More than it's either it's gonna be a thing.
Fastlane.
It's either gonna be a thing at Fastlane or WrestleMania. Probably Fastlane. I'll agree with you.
I see Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins at Fastlane.
And if he
But
wins,
Seth
then
Rollins,
he
gets a
to
match
get,
at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he gets a match at WrestleMania with Triple H. Yeah, that's probably what it's gonna be. It was memorable. Triple H says, "Seth frickin' Rollins, the man I plucked from obscurity and made a star." It was an amazing end to a show. At the end of it, after the show went off the air, Brock Lesnar came out and challenged the roster, saying that he'll take anyone on. The Big Show came out, tried to hit Lesnar with a choke slam. Lesnar reversed it and hit the Big Show with an F5. It was pretty great. Because of the fact that Brock Lesnar did challenge Goldberg, Goldberg is going to be at Monday Night Raw next Monday. You know who's going to be there? This guy.
That's you.
Yeah, as well as because Samoa Joe just came out of fucking nowhere. Guess who's gonna be at fucking Raw next week too? Shit, dude, it's gonna be a great Raw. I'm excited because I knew that this one was gonna be ho hum because it was immediately after the Rumble. It's the one after this where they start building things up. It was great.
Yep.
All right. Let's go ahead and lightning through the SmackDown results as well here. So we go ahead and start SmackDown with AJ Styles, Shane O'Mac, and Daniel Bryan. AJ Styles says, "I want my rematch." Shane O'Mac goes, "You'll have your rematch in the Elimination Chamber. You're going to go ahead and have this with Bray Wyatt, The Miz, Baron Corbin, and Dean Ambrose." Right as he says Dean Ambrose, it cuts to Dean Ambrose coming in the ring and going, "Nope, you said what I need to," and then it starts walking out. And then Styles, Ambrose says that Styles is the real soccer moms from Atlanta. Which I love that people keep saying that he's a soccer mom. I'm into it. And Ambrose says, since James Ellsworth is in love and out of the picture, why don't we go ahead and deal with some unfinished business now that I have a championship and you don't? Hardy har har. So it makes a Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles match later on. So that happens. Then after that, we have John Cena comes to the ring. He essentially says, I have a lot of respect for AJ Styles, but I am now the champ. AJ Styles is an elite WWE superstar who brings out the best in me. The WWE Universe may disagree, but Styles' performance in the Royal Rumble is what the championship is all about. After this, then Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton come out, and Bray Wyatt essentially says, "Hooray, your champ is here." Mocks John Cena, and then says that he is going to take his championship at the Elimination Chamber.
Which I think is going to happen.
I don't think it is. I don't think that Bray Wyatt's gonna get the championship at the Elimination Chamber.
You don't think so?
Nah. I think I can see John Cena keeping the championship for a little bit.
So you would rather have John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania for the
There's gonna be another
20th time?
There's gonna be another pay-per-view after the Elimination Chamber. That's what I'm
Nope,
saying.
that's it. Chamber's it.
Really?
Yep.
in 2 weeks they're going to have one in February, and then they're not going to have one until April.
Yep.
We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. I don't think so. I can't. My heart cannot say so. I'm sorry.
Because there's no pay-per-view announced at their Fastlane.
Well, yeah, but I mean, WWE likes to piecemeal as pay-per-views anyways. So, we'll see how it goes. So Randy says, even if Bray can't get you, I will get you at WrestleMania. Luke Harper uses what's left of his Wyatt magic, I think, and he appears in the ring next to John Cena after they come into the ring. So I don't know if that means that Luke Harper is also a Bray Wyatt wizard, or if maybe he just has some like lingering like fairy dust in his fingertips where he's able to use some Wyatt magic. I don't know, because I don't understand how he's still able to use it if he's still if he's now against Bray and Ray. Look, all right, you have made the Wyatt family not make sense, and they are the most nonsensical things that have logic behind them. Dude, okay. Shane O'Mac says, you know what? Fine. Cena, Luke, you want to go up against Bray and Randy? Let's go ahead and make that a match right now. It was some takeaways from this. Luke Harper would not fight Bray Wyatt whenever he was tagged in. Harper would tag Cena back in, or he would refuse to tag with John Cena, still showing that Bray has some sort of strength over Luke. I thought that was interesting. For a little bit there, Luke was at the end. Luke, you could tell, kind of was getting a little bit more infuriated, tried to do some Sister Abigail on Bray Wyatt. There was a bit of a reversal, kind of a back and forth with them. So, that kind of happened, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, RKO. Memes.
That's RIP.
Yeah, R.I.P. RKO on Cena, and then plants, and then gets the win there. Ellsworth, after this, we come back from a commercial. Ellsworth comes out and announces Carmella. He calls Carmella his boo. This is driving me insane. I don't understand what they're doing with James Ellsworth. Granted, I mean, yeah, this is better than what you were doing previously, so I can't complain much. This was against Delilah Dawson, which I think was just some blue-haired anime girl. There was some interference by Ellsworth, kind of tripped her up by holding her legs near the ropes, so she fell, and then Carmella wins by submission, the only way that she wins matches. Kalisto versus Dolph Ziggler happened. Again, no one cares. He won via super kick. He tried to continue to beat on Kalisto. Apollo Crews comes out and defends Kalisto, runs Dolph Ziggler off.
Same stuff has happened for the past 3 weeks.
Exactly. New era, same old shit. There's an interview with Becky and Naomi. Becky says that she hasn't forgot Mickie James, like Mickie James says, and that she has not forgotten what Mickie James has done to her. Naomi says that Alexa has dissed her, and she's not going to deal with that. They're going to feel some super hot glow fire. That goes to the Naomi and Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss and Mickie James match. There was a point where Alexa Bliss did a flip onto Naomi, and she botched it a little bit. She made it look like she took more damage than Naomi did, which, as we all know, if it wasn't reversed at the very last second, you're the one who comes out stronger, because this is kayfabe rules, bro. So a bit of a botch there. Becky's tagged, Mickey's tagged. Becky does some work against Mickie James, and then it goes to commercial. It comes back. There's a little bit of Becky's beat up quite a bit. She gets a hot tag on Naomi. Naomi is an amazing hot tag. Like I said previously, I love what they're doing with Naomi, and I love the fact that she's just looking stronger and stronger and stronger. She got the pin on Alexa, the same way that she did in the 3v3 tag team match in the pre-show. So not too bad. Then we have, I think this section is what made Raw better than SmackDown this week. American Alpha has an interview, and they're like, we've had these championships for a month, and we don't know what to do with them. And then Chad Gable closes his eyes and swings his belt around like an idiot. And then the other half of American Alpha is dodging possible hits from Chad Gable's belt. And then they're just like, you know what? We're gonna go to the ring and we're gonna do an open challenge. So they do. And guess what? We have essentially the exact same thing that we had last SmackDown to figure out who was going to be the person who was going to have an entrant in the Royal Rumble. Except that instead of having Mojo Rawley and then Kurt Hawkins there, we just have the Usos, the Ascension, the Vaudevillains, Breezango, Heath Slater, and Rhino, and American Alpha. It just breaks out into fighting chaos. It goes to commercial. It comes back. There's everyone's tossed out except for Heath Slater and Rhino, and apparently that's how American Alpha determined who they're going to go up against. But they didn't. There was no announcements in this. There was nothing that was stated. It was just, hey, there was just some goofy fighting, and then there wasn't goofy fighting anymore. It was stupid as shit. I don't understand what happened. They did not explain what was going on. American Alpha just walked down, and then
I think it's setting up for a chamber, probably, because there's 6 teams in there.
Yes, but it doesn't make any sense, and it's just stupid.
Yeah, they could have done a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, they needed some. There was no mic work in any of that segment. There was nothing. The American Alpha didn't say anything. They came down to the ring, and then the Usos came down, and then the Ascension came down, and it just turned into complete chaos. So I don't understand what they were trying to portray here. Writers, do some better work here. So then they do a little bit of a replay on the interview bot interviewing Nikki Bella outside of the truck thing where Natalya sounds like she's dying. And then the preceding beating that Nikki gives Natalya. Then it cuts to Daniel Bryan talking to his wife Brie over the phone. Natalya is in the room. She has some security. She says that she doesn't feel safe. Nikki then shows up and they start bickering and start yelling at each other. Daniel Bryan isn't having any of it. He's just like, enough. Shut the hell up. This is why I put you in. This is why I brought you together. Because I want you guys to deal with this. So you're going to have a match at the Elimination Chamber. So that's been confirmed. Then before we have the main event of the night, we have this weird little promo where Neville says that he'll show that no one has what it takes to be the king of the cruiserweights on 205 Live tonight. Obviously a way to try and get people to watch more, because the only reason why anyone wants to watch 205 Live is because of Neville. Then we have Dean Ambrose.
For Alicia Fox.
That was something we didn't have all week. No Alicia Fox at all this week. It was no screaming, no yelling. It was good. It was good. We did see her in an advertisement, though, so we can't say that we didn't completely lose out on her. So we have the main event of Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles. Miz is ringside. Dean Ambrose is having a pretty good run. Miz says that no one is ready for the Elimination Chamber. All of a sudden, Baron Corbin walks out. He doesn't interrupt the match. They just go to commercial, and then they come back, and he's at the announcer's table on the opposite side of the announcers. So Miz is like on one side of the announcer's table and Baron Corbin is on the other. They talk for a while. Essentially, this entire match was just, hey, AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose are going to kind of do something while The Miz and Baron Corbin just smack talk each other all night. At a certain point, Baron Corbin calls The Miz a joke, and then The Miz is like, well, I'm a 14-time champion. How do you think I'm a joke? Near the end, Corbin is done and just beats The Miz up. He distracts the ref from Dean Ambrose, who is getting the 3 count on AJ Styles. Then after that, Dean Ambrose is really pissed off, so he tackles Baron Corbin through the middle rope. Then he kicks The Miz, throws him around. He gets back in the ring. AJ Styles does a Styles Clash, and he gets the pin on Dean Ambrose. The Miz then does a skull-crushing finale on Dean Ambrose after the pin, and then Baron Corbin pulls an End of Days on The Miz, and then he pulls a End of Days on Dean Ambrose. That was SmackDown. What the fuck happened this week on SmackDown? I don't understand. Like, none of it made any sense. I was not interested at all this week in SmackDown. It's sad. Which is extremely concerning for me, because you have the Elimination Chamber coming up in 2 weeks, and
Well, one SmackDown left to Elimination Chamber now too.
right. But you don't have that much time to build for your next pay-per-view.
Which is why they need to stop with this 2-week thing.
Right. That's why you needed to stop with the 2-week thing to begin with. You should have given yourself 3 weeks and then put Fastlane out 4 or 5 weeks from now. That would have been fine. But you went back to what you were doing, and you didn't give yourself enough time to recover from the Royal Rumble, because you could tell that almost everyone on both rosters were still recovering from the Royal Rumble in the first place. And I think that showed the most on SmackDown this week. I would not be surprised if Raw has A, the better ratings, and B, again, in my opinion, I think Raw was the better show in every way, shape, or form. I don't want to see that happen again, because I think SmackDown has the better roster.
Oh yeah.
But when it comes to the entertainment value, I actually wanted to sit through almost all 3 hours of Raw, except for the stupid Tornado Tag Team match. So, that's that. We're almost 30 minutes over time, like we were last time. Again. Doesn't help that we had 2 pay-per-views to talk about, so, you know. It kind of does things. It also didn't help that I'm completely out of it. Like, this week I've just been, I've been drowned at work, and I don't know. I've been just like, my head's just been completely out of the game recently. So, that probably didn't help. But hey, you know what? It's been fun. We're going to go ahead and keep this going. And next week we'll go ahead and give you our review of next week's SmackDown and next week's Raw. Maybe we'll watch 205 Live and give our review, but probably not, because should we do NXT? We'll see how it goes. I'll probably watch NXT anyways, but if you don't, you don't. I'll probably bring it up.
All right, sounds good.
Great. Well, thank you so much for watching, for those who are watching on Twitch, and thank you so much for all of the viewers on YouTube. Thank you so much for coming out, and I hope that y'all have a great rest of your evening, and we will see you right around this time next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you, folks.
Goodbye.